Hi, good evening and welcome to the IBD Ostomy Support Show. We have a full house this evening, yay! So, what are we doing this week? Okay, well, I'm Louise, aka Crohn's Fighting. This week we are discussing how to sleep with a stoma. Oh, that's got me into trouble before. We're also going through the Pelican Urostomy review. We're going through the Sensura Mio reviews. Steffi's been using the two pieces, Nat's been using the flats, and I've been using the convex. Steve's not been playing silly buggers with bags this week. He's the only one that hasn't been. So what have I been doing this week? Yeah, for any of you that read my blog, it's had like a total system overhaul. So if I go a bit quiet this evening, that was because I was up until 1 last night doing it.
Now she knows how I felt.
Now I know how Steffi feels when she did hers, and I didn't have nowhere near as many posts. What else? So we've got the Purple Wings this Saturday, so you will see us there going hello.
Except Natalie, and it's such a shame. Although you get to see Stick Natalie, because I've made the Stick Natalie.
we have a Stick Natalie. Not that we've been posting dresses online or anything and asking what we should dress Stick Natalie in. Okay, maybe we have. So what else have I been doing this week? I've been doing some writing, been doing some reviews. I've got a meeting next week with a professor up at King's College to go for CCUK to go through an interview about IBD and food and how it affects me. So you might hear more about that in September when we are covering specifics. And yeah, I'm running around like a headless chicken and trying to magic time out of my backside, which I don't have a lot of. So I will pass you over to Steffi, and she will go through what she's been doing.
Surprise, surprise, not a lot, because if I don't have to do a lot, I don't. What have I done this week?
What have you done this week?
Well, on Saturday, Natalie and I had our Sweeney night out. We ate lots of naughty food at Las Iguanas that our stomas weren't our friends the next morning. Mine especially because it leaked. Thank God I was in a hotel and I could just leave. But we went to see Dreamboats and Petticoats, which was really good. I was singing. I got told off because I was videoing some of it. Naughty me. Natalie got scared because this voice just appeared behind us. I also learned that there's this specific tissue dispenser that you can push on the side, because I've never encountered one of them. So there's me like trying to pull it out from the bottom, and the girl was like, "Oh no, there's a lever here." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's revolutionary." You can tell where I'm from. It's quiet and there's nothing like that. But I had my support group on Tuesday. I managed to persuade people that not to make me chairman because I already do too much, and I think I'd be a naff chairperson, so I'm sticking with the social media of that. So if anyone is in the Hambleton and Richmondshire area, we have a support group every 3 months. We also have a Facebook group, we have a Facebook page, and it's for everyone. If you're going to go for a stoma, if you're thinking about having a stoma, urostomy, colostomies or olostomies. I mean, I was waiting on about Rachel yesterday, during it as well. I left the house without the pram, even though it was chucking it down today. I don't like baby wearing when it's raining. But I got to use my lightsaber umbrella, so we're all good.
Oh, there. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, and it changes colours, so it has all of them. The purple ones and everything.
Cool.
So that's pretty much it, other than like Purple Wings on Saturday, which I'm super excited for. So I'll pass you over to Natalie.
Hello. Well, I've been absent for a while. We went on holiday, so I was due to miss that week anyway. And since then, I've been suffering with some really, really awful headaches. Went to the doctor last week. It turns out my blood pressure is sky high. So I've now got to have a blood pressure monitor on. I actually got called today. They're going to do that on the 31st. So I've basically got to wear one of those pump things for 24 hours. It's going to inflate like every half an hour or something to take my blood pressure. And they'll have to treat if it is still high. I've had obviously my weekend with Steffi, which was brilliant and just what I needed with all that stress and crap going on. So we're going to have to do that again soon because it's brilliant. What else have I been doing? I had orthopaedic clinic on Monday and they've looked at the MRIs on my knee. My knee's been dodgy for a few years now. Obviously, I've had the arthritis since a baby, but I've now got, it keeps locking and they have to basically put me to sleep to get it unlocked. So that's happened 4 times. And they've had a look. There's definitely no meniscus damage, which is what they thought was causing the lock-in. But my knee is just very, very worn, especially my kneecap from the arthritis. There's also steroid damage to the bone, the femur and the tibia. But basically, we're just going to hold off. The next step would be a replacement, but we want to hold that off as long as possible. So I'm going to some physio and stuff on it. My blog suffered a little bit. I've not been writing as much because I've just been too poorly. But this week I've been doing a bit of an overhaul, the same as Louise, making it look a bit prettier, doing some new things, trying out some new things. So hopefully next week I'll be up and running properly again. And I think that's just about it. So I'll pass you to Rachel.
Thanks, Nat. Hi, I'm Rachel, aka Rocking Two Stomas. Right, what week have I had? I'm going through some personal stuff, so I may not be on for the whole show, and I might be a bit quiet. But Steffi's helped me out with the blogging, and the girls have helped me out with the blogging this week, which is nice. Like, trying to rehaul it. And what else have I done? I've done quite a lot for the UA. I sent an email to like 200 local newspapers about disabled toilets. So that was quite hard, like long doing it individually. And then I went to the doctor today to get blood tests for my electrolytes because I keep getting the muscle spasms. Looking forward to Saturday. I'm looking forward to meeting Steffi and Louise. That'd be really nice. And yeah, that's about it.
What about your urostomy campaign? How's that going on?
Yes, it's going quite well. I had an article in the UA done today, and then I did a photo shoot on Wednesday for it for a newspaper. I can't say yet properly. That's going to happen in a month, so it's doing amazing, really, and I'm trying to push it a bit further. So I'm hoping, I want to get it on TV. Even if it's not me and it's another urostomate that does it, I don't mind. I just want the campaign or the poster on TV. So that's my next aim, is to get like a local news station or something.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Steffi.
It's absolutely brilliant what you've done. Lovely. The response to it so far this week's been amazing.
Thank you. That's really kind. Yeah, I've had quite like it reached quite a few people, the photo shoot thing. So I'm just grateful for all of it. I just feel quite humble and grateful at the moment for like meeting you guys, everything. It's just a bit overwhelmed, really. So it's lovely.
Steve, what about you?
Me,
what have you been doing this week?
Friday I went to see some heroes of mine from back in the 80s. I went to see Grandmaster Melly Mel. Yeah, it was.
Didn't come and visit me.
And Sugar Hill Gang. That was a really good night. Got to have a chat with them afterwards as well, because it was mad, you know. They did the concert, and then it was like an 80s night. Everyone was dancing around. The bands were singing 80s songs and stuff. Mm-hmm. Really good. Didn't drink, had it like a pint, and that was it. And this week I've been dropping my lad to and from his acting.
Oh wow!
He's had a performance Wednesday, Thursday, and tomorrow, which I'm going to the tomorrow's one. And then Purple Wings on Saturday. Yay!
It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a laugh.
I'm deleting Facebook that night.
Oh, don't delete Facebook that night. We won't be posting that much up.
That much.
Just a couple of live videos and a few news feeds.
Every single Snapchat I get, I'm going to save and use for future purposes. when you all send in drunken photos?
I don't use Snapchat.
I do.
Stephanie does.
Well, I do for Natalie. I do for Natalie. Like, it said Natalie's on my best friends list. Like, I literally have Natalie, and that's it on my best friends list. Nobody else talks to me on that. So, but
so what shall we start off with first this morning? Should we start off with the reviews, or should we start off with the how to sleep with the stoma?
The reviews. Get them out the way.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Reviews. I will. I did 2 videos. I'll get it out of the way. I did 2 videos on the two pieces I did. I did a click, which I actually have some here. I don't have any of the flex ones. They're out in the pile, but like the click ones. Damn sunlight! I don't want to get rid of the sunlight. I don't want to moan about it because I never get any sunlight in the north. So we have the click, and you click it shut. But it's really awkward to push on. And Colourplast did comment on the video, which was quite nice of them to say, like, push it on from the bottom. I've currently got it on now, and I just pushed it on. I didn't like the flex at all. I thought the click was much nicer. I don't like the idea of having to try and stick it. Just, I didn't feel safe with it on. But the 2 pieces, the convex don't seem to push up. So I do have an equalizer on the way, but it's coming from America to try and push, because I do quite like the idea of the base plate to save my skin. Because as long as it doesn't leak, you can leave the base plate on for longer, which is good. So, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't write my review the way I have done the others because it was quite sporadic, especially when I was with Natalie and I leaked. I had to put Danzac on because that's what I had with me, because I know I very rarely leak with them. And I just remember, I wouldn't care, but I'd gone and emptied at like an hour before, and then like I kind of went, oh crap, got up, and like Natalie was awake when I came out of the bathroom. I was like, do you have any of this, and this? Because apparently I don't have them in my kit. And she was like, oh yeah, I do. So it was really nice having another ostomate there, because I've never stayed over with another ostomate before. So it was nice. And Natalie's my first, and the fact that she our stomas were born on the same day. If you want to say born, they were
amazing.
They were both done on the same day. So we're stoma buddies as well. But the 2 pieces weren't too bad. They weren't as scary as I thought they were going to be. But I definitely preferred the click. The actual clicking noise was reassuring, and it was nice to have that. But yeah, so how did everyone else get on?
Well, I got on, to start off with, I got on with the smaller ones that you sent me really well. But you know that I've tried the larger ones, hadn't I, a couple of weeks prior, but I couldn't find the code number to give to Bullens when they rang up for my delivery, which I did actually manage to find, because I found one that I had loitering about. So I put mine on Friday morning, which was fine. For scientific reasons, I decided I'd be a funny ass and have a bath in it Friday night. Lasted me through till Sunday morning. Well, Sunday afternoon, and I had to do an emergency bag change in Sissinghurst Castle's disabled toilets because I was getting itchy. And you know, when you start getting itchy and you don't quite know where the itch is coming from, you've got to do the pat as you're walking round to try and get. Yeah, it was getting really bad. It was starting to spread out. I was like, right, I need to go and change. There was nothing wrong with it. I think it just been on too long and my skin wasn't agreeing with like sweating. So I changed it, was absolutely fine. And then, yeah, I woke up at 5 o'clock Monday morning. And I thought, it's a bit wet down there. Yeah, I'd leaked massive proportions. But it wasn't a leak because I'd put the bag on wrong. It was a leak because the bag had overfilled and it decided to backwash and come down through the base plate. And I ended up Jackson Pollock in my bathroom and on my hands and knees until 5:30 in the morning trying to clean up the excrement and rice that was all over my bathroom floor. So you knew what, I had to eat that up. I like the Mios. I've actually ordered, yesterday I ordered the larger bags on my next delivery, which comes next week. So I'll be using them on a bit more of a regular basis because they're good for exercise and swimming and stuff. Yeah, another thing that I mentioned in my blog post as well, I did ring Coloplast up again this afternoon and speak to them, because they advise most of you on the phone, not all of you, but they do advise most of you on the phone when you're ordering the samples, that there's something in the base plate that causes pinkness to the skin, but it's dependent on the user and dependent on how long you've had the bag on and how your skin reacts. So it's because of the hydrocolloid that's in the adhesive. It happens to some, it doesn't happen to others. It's just dependent on the person. But I did put that in my blog, so just to make that clear, it's not oh my god, I have a rash. It's it just makes the skin more pink. And yeah, that's about it. And yeah, next week, God help me, I'm testing the Welland bags. So
Yeah, this one she's just thrown in. Can I point out, Natalie? It's literally because we've both got some.
I don't think I've got Welland. I'll have a look through my stash though. I might have some other ones that I can give. I think I've got some 2 pieces actually, which I might give try out.
Is that the Aurora Ileostomy?
I'm not sure what it is. I don't know.
Is it? I quite like the Urostomy one. Was really good.
Oh, that's good then.
I've tried the Mio today, just the flat one. When I came out of hospital, that was the first samples I ordered, so I started using them. But it ended quite badly because I was just having leak after leak after leak. And obviously not only being sort of a few months into having a stoma, it got me really down. And one day I remember having 4 in one day, and it was at my nephew's birthday party. So there was a lot of my sister-in-law's family there who were all lovely and brilliant. And a lot of them knew what operation had happened and stuff anyway. But I was just mortified that I kept having to go to the toilet and it was just everywhere. My dad had to go home at one point for more clothes for me and stuff. So I ended up changing to the salts bags then. And since then I've been fine. So I was a little bit nervous about trying them out again. But it actually went really well. I remembered the reasons why I did start using it. It dries really well. I also got in the shower to test that out, sort of knowing already. But yeah, it dries super quickly, the stuff it's made of. I like the colour of it. Some people do, some people don't. Yeah, I like the Mio. I left it on. Normally I change every night, but I did actually leave it on when I'd had my shower and test it out in there. I'd left it on for another day and it coped fine with that. When I did take it off last night, there was a small ring where it started to leak, but I hadn't even started being itchy or anything. So, and it didn't affect my skin, so it couldn't have been for very long.
do you like the pull down bit on it? That makes it so much easier for taking it off.
Yeah, that little bit at the top. I was just going to say, yeah, it comes off super easy.
The Danzac Novalife has that as well.
Yeah, that I was going to say, because that's the one I had in the hospital.
You find them really sticky, the Mios?
No, not as sticky as my salts ones.
I found them quite sticky. I found
Mine's
they
the
stuck
opposite
down
with
quite
them.
quick.
I think it's really comfortable, but I wouldn't say it's as sticky as my salts. But then it all went wrong this morning because 15 minutes before I had to leave to take the boys to school, and we're still yelling at them for that 10th time to get their shoes and stuff on, I put my hand down and I was like, oh my God, I'm leaking. So I had to do like the quickest bag change ever. And it wasn't over full. I'd already emptied it that morning. The only thing I do think was I was having some pancaking, and I think that's possibly, I think if I used the Mios all the time, I would have to use sort of one of the sachets, do you know, the stuff that helps it slide down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen with the salt, so I don't know whether the inside of it's just slightly different or whatever, but it did seem to gather, and I think that's what caused the leak this morning.
It's the double filter, isn't it? That's the only thing I don't like on that is the filter.
Yeah, but I got pancaking with the salts, and I got pancaking with the Pelican, and I don't usually get it with Danzac or with
yeah, I think it must
the
just
Mios.
be, yeah, because I don't normally get any problem. Sometimes, obviously, if my output's really thick or whatever, occasionally you will get it, don't you? But that seemed to happen every day. But I think that must have been this morning what caused the leak, because it was just literally all set around there.
Have you tried the deodorant lubrication?
I had some of that ages ago to try, but I think if I use them, like, obviously I'm going to go back to the salts. I'm more than happy with that. But I think if I use the Mio, I'd probably want to use something like that.
Yeah, you have to swill it around. You have to make sure it all goes at the top.
Yeah, you can use like baby oil, I think, as well, can't you?
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and olive oil.
Yeah.
Just anything like that. But baby oil is going to
Cooking
smell
oil.
nicer than olive oil.
Mm.
But saying that, I remember going to a baby massage class with Rara, and I mean, we couldn't stay long because she decided to have the biggest poo explosion ever, and went through all of the nappies I had. And Stephen was at home in bed, and it was across town. And the lady was telling me before I left that there was a woman that actually brought garlic olive oil. And like, I was like, why? And she was like, oh, well, they just said to bring oil. And it's like, really? Who does that? Obviously that woman, but
Smelling like spaghetti bolognese.
bless.
Castrol.
You what?
Castrol GTX, just car oil. Would that do it, you reckon? Yeah, it's probably quite good.
Yeah.
It's a manly smell.
I'm surprised you didn't say WD-40. That's something I expect.
That would be quite good. It's a water displacement, those.
No, but to be fair, I've had a lot of feedback as well from people about this bag this week. And I think it's quite popular sort of on the forums and stuff. And a lot of people do try it. And it's just one of those bags, you either love it or you hate it. Some people get on with it so well, and some people just have endless problems like I had with the leaks when I had it like long term.
It's trial and error with everyone, isn't it? And that's the whole point of this.
It is.
It's to show that not everyone. Yeah, I mean,
it's just to prove it. It's not proving a point though. It's just showing that yes, you can try different bags, and some of them work, and some of them don't.
Well, it is proving a point. It's proving the point that we're all individual. All the bags are individual. We all leak.
Yeah.
You know, and that you don't have to stick and suffer. You can change and find something that works for you. Because especially if you've got it for life, there's no point being miserable with it.
No, there's not.
And I found I was talking to somebody actually yesterday, and we were sort of talking about trying bags and stuff. There was quite a few people. A lot of people tried different bags, and they said the one they suited was great, and blah blah blah. But there was an odd few people that said they didn't try any bags, and they didn't sort of know how to do that. They didn't know how to order samples. And I said it's quite a shame. She mentioned the fact that often Stoma nurses are sponsored by a brand, and that's the bag you get from them in the hospital. Yeah, and but it's quite a shame that they are, because really they could just do a printout with all the different brands and websites where you can get the samples from, so people can work through.
Yeah, but aren't they supposed to be impartial?
They are, but they still only give you their bag, don't they?
It's people not knowing, isn't it?
Mine said to me, oh, you can go online and you can get some samples, but I didn't know all this unless I was on the forums. Because I was on the forums, I knew a lot of different brands, which is why I tried the Mio, because that was so popular. But there's so many more brands out there, and then you've got the whole convex or flat issue and stuff, because there was a couple of people that said to me, oh, I have the Mio convex now, much better than the flats, and that's worked really well. But
you don't really change unless. When I started off on mine, I think it was, I can't remember what I started off with, but my skin was rashing. Went to Stoma nurse, and she said, right, I'll send you some different samples, and then tried them like that, and it didn't rash. All that new one, which I tried a skin rash. The new one was absolutely fantastic, and I've never been so confident in it. I've got to wait until they come on the market, but my skin has changed within the 18 months that I've had it. Couldn't tolerate before, so it would still be have to try different ones even now. You know, like if something doesn't work with you, who say 6 months down the line that your skin will change again.
I think a lot of people say, oh yeah, my skin's always been like that, and they don't really, and unless they're sort of a bit proactive in seeking out their stoma nurse, sometimes they don't always get the great support that you need from them.
That's right.
So they just put up with it, and it's like, well, no, you could try a different bag, or you could try a different type of a wipe or a spray to sort of help protect your skin. And
it's like some of the older ones that have been given a bag and that's been it. They've never even don't even know exists.
I mean, I've had a chat. Graham just commented and said when he was a baby with a stoma, which was back in the early 70s, they didn't have stoma bags for children then. It was he was literally wrapped in bandages and that was it. Because back then, especially back in the 60s and 70s with the stoma bags, they used to have it was a metal base plate. I was meant to research it this week, but I haven't had the time. But it was somebody called Paddy. She goes under the name Pamela that comments on my blog, and she said obviously back then, before they started bringing out the one-piece disposables in the 80s, it was just be a metal base plate.
What sort of size would a baby stoma be? Like your little finger, that sort of thickness?
I don't know because I'm not too. To be honest, I haven't researched the origins of the stoma bags. I was meant to be doing that for the wrap up for next week. And I was going to put a piece up on the show and on the blog as well about the origins of the stoma bags and when they was made, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
Well, see, I don't agree with the, it's all down to the trust that you're with, because my stoma nurses, yes, they hand out the Danzac, but only if it's appropriate. Like there are some people that it's not going to work, like adhesive reactions, etc. And what they do is they have boxes and boxes and boxes in their office, and they hand, they find other ones for people. Because when I changed and stuff, I was like, my delivery hasn't turned up, and they're like, oh well, if you're in town, I'll pop in and we'll give you whatever box you need. So, but
sorry.
It's like our trust is Danzac and Fittleworth, but they're not, like, there are other things out there. That's why we have like a biannual stoma open day that I went to last year. I was quite lucky. It happened just after I had my stoma, about 3 weeks, so I went and had a look around and all sorts of stuff. But I think it might differ between hospitals, mind, or between stoma nurses, because
Well,
they've got to send you home with something, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I'll be perfectly honest with you. The first stoma nurse that I had, I was told that I had to like and lump what I was using, and back then I think it was the Hollister one piece, the flat, which I had on top of an incisional hernia. I wasn't offered anything else. I was told to deal with it. Second time round with my stoma nurse, they issued me with Convex before they even discharged me from hospital. And my stoma nurse changed my bag to the Pelican because that was the only one that she can think of that was going to react with the skin. The other one that doesn't is Oak Med, but I'm not keen on the bottom system because they don't have the Velcro tabs. They have the old two-piece switch thing that you have to roll up and then clip into place, and that can snap. And sometimes the the shaft bit that comes down for the emptying, sometimes that rips at the side. So yeah, I'm not keen on the Oak Med at all. But
sorry.
No, that's fine.
Coloplast. Do they do another one apart from the Sensura Mio and?
Yes.
Isn't a Sensura? I think that's what I started off. It was either that or Combatech. It was sent out with.
Coloplast do have different ranges. We just haven't mentioned them because it's not the ones that we've tested. So, I mean, we was asking because Steve, have you used the Sensura Mios before?
Yeah, I've tried one.
Yeah, because I've just asked the girls. We have obviously those that watch the show don't really know. Some of them know that we have the chat, and what we do is we post the messages that you send us in to the group, and then we reply. So this man's asking at the moment, did anybody have an issue with the Mio and the smelling odour, even though there was no leak? Because that's what he's experiencing at the moment.
And Steve told me one of the guys that he spoke to told them to use the stickers on the filter.
Yeah,
no, it does allow. It does prevent the gas obviously from escaping because it's preventing anything coming out. But my God, it worked. Because I was experiencing a lot of odour last week, and I was like, for God's sake, I'm gonna have to change again my poor skin, and then I put a filter on instantly, straight away.
See, I always thought And I had somebody contact me this week asking if I'd had that before as well. I thought but I didn't know. It's all right. My guinea pigs are going mad behind me. I keep looking.
So obviously having a stoma, you're aware of the leak at any given time.
Yeah, but I think
you're nasally aware as well. You know, I've only got to smell someone fart in the room, and I'm reaching for my tummy just to check. I use like an ostomist spray, which is oranges. So really, if I smell oranges, then yeah, there's a problem. Unless someone's eating an orange, and that's it.
I have the key for emptying and bathroom habits, and I still don't know how to work it, because obviously it doesn't work the same, because the smell comes out before you even empty the bag. So how the hell that work?
Oh, see, I did that when I did my review on that Few. It was a new product, and I got a sample of it from them from Twitter, and I reviewed it, and that was one of those ones that you're supposed to spray in the toilet before you go. But obviously, I have to empty standing up because of my knees. I can't bend down on the floor, and I also can't sit on the toilet and do it. I can just about do it, but it's really uncomfortable because hips and arms, and my arms don't go straight and stuff, so they're bent at weird angles. And so I have to stand up, which means I put quite a bit of tissue in the toilet to try and prevent it from splashing back. So then I'm like, well, do I spray it on the water, because it's meant to go under the water to stop it smelling, isn't it? Or will it work if I spray on the tissue? So I tried literally every possible way of doing it. And I found that if I'd got it ready on the side with the lid off, emptied my bag and literally sprayed it straight on dead quick, all I could smell was lemons, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's quite potent though, isn't it, that Few, for the lemony fresh smell?
Yeah, I think they're releasing, because I'm not a massive fan of lemon, although for a because it smells of cleaning products, but I suppose in a bathroom that's not too bad. But I think they are releasing more fragrances down the line. But yeah, it did work really well. But like I said, you can't use that emptying your bag before.
Just
Have you ever? Sorry.
Just a quick, sorry, Steve. Just a quick one, because Steffi likes to put me on the spot with sex questions. So we're going to put her on the spot with toilet questions, because she doesn't like them. And she's like, you see her face now. It's going. So yeah. Oh yeah. Who else struggles with the whole splashback system?
I sit down and empty it when I go to the toilet. So
Toilet roll into like almost like a trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, what did you?
More of a crash mat. No, it's more of a safety net, if you will.
Steve, I think I remember you posting in one of the groups about getting accused of drug dealing or drug taking in the toilets because of the way that you went to your bag.
Obviously, if you're in a cubicle and you're in a cubicle, you're supposed to be, and you're facing away, back, Velcro, making like ripping noises. Straight away, I feel guilty, you know. And people are going, "What's he doing in there? What do you do? What do you do?" You know.
Well, I was in a restaurant one night. Went out with Mum and two of her friends, and there was just one toilet, and you sort of walked in, locked the door behind you, and I thought it was a bit funny, the lock, but I thought I'd done it. And then you walked through a tiny little corridor with a double sink and stuff and a mirror, and then the toilet was at the end, and you just went round a little wall, so you could still just about see the door, but you were sort of hidden. Well, I'm there emptying my bag, stood up obviously, and this guy walked in because the door clearly wasn't locked properly, but obviously he couldn't see everything I was doing, but he could just see the end of me, and he could clearly see that I was stood up in front of the toilet. I was like, I think he might think I'm like a transvestite or something. Like, there's this woman in the toilet stood up waiting. I was like, oh no. But
oh dear. Yeah, I think I've decided I'm just going to paint my bathroom walls black. Well, the bit behind the toilet anyway. Make it white down.
I can 100% vouch for the Ostomist tangerine.
I've tried that one, and it's amazing.
What, it's brilliant. Mm-hmm. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There's no need to spray in the loo. I swear by it.
Is it really bad that I only use that stuff when I'm out and about with regards to the Few, because I just like to make my two suffer? And I'll admit,
I do
I'm
save it
really
for best
bad.
occasions, to be fair.
Yeah.
Can I just stop everyone, because this is heartbreaking for me. Chester Bennington, the lead singer from Linkin Park, has just died, and he was
Look,
only
I just
41.
told Louise, and she.
Elf.
I was a bit gutted about that.
They were like, anyone that knows me would know that they back in the day were like my favourite band ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's heartbreaking. And I was a bit in love with him as well when he still had his mohawk.
When he's still, I was going to say, yeah, not so much recently.
No.
Oh, I'm gutted. Sorry, I had to put in
That's okay. Well, we're going to go back to, I use it when I'm out and about. I'm in people's houses. However, in my own house, especially if I've had a garlic fest and I have to put up with my 7-year-old, it gets rather stinky. It's payback. Not that I do it very often. But I mean, what was the other one that was covering this week? We was covering how to sleep with a stoma, wasn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that Rachel wrote about how to sleep with a stoma, didn't she? Because she's got both the urostomy and the ileostomy. You guys should take
She
a
does
look
the
at,
drainage and that doesn't night.
yeah, and she's got the nighttime drainage system. So how to sleep with a stoma? So what they don't tell you after surgery is for the first couple of days you're going to be flat on your back because you just can't get comfortable with drains and catheters and whatever else is going on around you. You have to learn, don't you, for the first couple of days to sleep on your back. Then sometimes the inevitable happens.
Try and roll over, and then you're like,
no.
oh
no.
yeah,
But,
a few times.
And then when you first come home, well, I think, to be honest, it's normally around about day 3, isn't it, that you sort of get over the worst of the pain, so you're actually able to sort of get yourself into a weird side position on your side to get comfortable. But I mean, the amount of people that have come forward and said that they sleep on their tummies.
I know, I've seen that as well.
I
never had a leak and stuff.
Not completely flat on my tummy, but when I roll over, I will often be like almost on it.
Flat.
Yeah.
I always like arch, even if I'm asleep. I'm aware that I'm rolling over, but never lie on it. I don't know. I'd love to sleep on my stomach.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it now. I would. I don't know. I think psychologically, I would wake myself up.
Yeah,
it wakes me up if it's full anyway. So I think now I'm just so used to it that if it wakes me up, it wakes me up. But
like
9
cools
times
your
out.
skin, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, 9 times out.
It feels like it's going to just pop off. It's horrible.
Don't you feel like a
think
boy?
that's the worst bit for me.
I know Steve is a boy, but do you know the whole like boys putting their hands down the pants and stuff while they're asleep? My little boys do it, so maybe that's just a bit weird. But in the middle of the night, I'll like roll over and I'll like be firking down, trying to see how full my bag is. I'm like, this must look really weird from a distance. Like me just there, like, Well, I don't even make up properly to do it now. I just sort of.
I tend to roll over and kind of push it on again, and I'm like, depending on how much it hurts, because for me it hurts because I have such. I can be poked. You can literally just poke me like that, and I'm in agony. Yet anything on the inside, I can deal with quite a long time, pain-wise. So this, as the pressure's building up, especially with the fact that I drink a very large amount of fizzy pop, a very large amount. I used to be addicted to the point that before I got married, I put on so much weight because I used to drink when Tesco's did the things on offer, so you get like 3 for a £5 or something. I drink all 3 of them in a day, and I'm not so bad now, but I still drink a lot. So mine just goes, and I have to empty it. And like I've been banned from airing my bag out if I have to go to the toilet.
Oh dear.
And there's like my dietitian once was like, one of my dietitians like, but it's no different to farting. How does he think he can get away with it? And I'm like. But I have to leave the room and stuff. But then again, like, I remember my dad saying that to like my brother, and I'm like, I'm the one with like a bowel disease, and you're getting sent out of the room. That's bad.
No, I normally, obviously, because I normally sleep on my own, I'll just empty my bag if it's air, because that's what will wake me up at least once in the night. But I've not done it for ages and ages with Steve, even though he has one. But his bedroom is upstairs. The bathroom is, well, it's like on 3 levels. So the bathroom's downstairs. So it's a right old pain just to get up in the night to go downstairs for a bag of air. So I've started doing it. But the first night, I remember, he's got this spray thing that goes off every now and again. So I was trying to like time it to go off when I empty my bag. But then I thought, it's all right, the dog sleeps at the end of the bed. I was like, I'll just blame the dog. But then I accidentally wrote something about it on Facebook, and his sister saw it, thought it was hilarious, but so now he knows that it's me, not the dog.
Do you know what? I don't actually miss going to the toilet anymore, because Ben used to put music on every time I went to the bathroom, because it was like an echo of, I think the only correct term would be B-50s. Do you remember when I did that blog post about the it just sound like the B-52 bomb dropping across
like the guns in our own.
Yeah. That is what I used to sound. That is what used to sound like every time I go to the toilet. And I remember, I can't help it. I laugh. I think it's funny. I can't help it. And I used to sit in stitches going to public toilets or going to the toilet in the pub, and knowing for a fact that I've got to sit in there and wait until there's an all clear before I can leave, because else they're going to know it was me.
It happened to me once in Lakeside Shopping Centre, and we'd got stuck in traffic on the way there. It was horrific, and I was like, I am going to literally explode in this car if we don't get there soon. And we got there, and you go in, and I think it's like John Lewis or one of the department stores. So ran around John Lewis, found the first toilet, and I couldn't hold it, even though there was people in there. And but I sat and waited till they'd obviously cleared out, but it stunk and there was people going out. My friend was waiting outside and was like, yeah, they keep coming out moaning that the drains must be really bad in there. I was like, that's mortifying. It was awful.
I found it worse when I had my J pouch, because obviously I've had IBD since I was really young, and like I remember falling asleep in the bathroom because I thought, what's the point in going back to bed, because I'm only going to get up like 20 minutes later to be able to do nothing, because I suffered constipation with my colitis, because apparently I have to be awkward in everything.
No, I was the same for years.
With the J pouch, like my friends would all stand by the sinks in local, like you've got 3 toilets and then the sinks directly in front, and like most of the girls would obviously go in there for the full length mirror for the selfies, and I'm talking really loudly until I flushed the toilet, so then I could go, and I'd go whilst the toilet was flushing, because with a J pouch you become very gassy. Well, I did, but maybe that's because I drink a lot of pop. I don't know, but like, there's no point lying about it. But I really struggled with it, and I used to just have to turn on the flush. What are you giggling at, woman?
I've just remembered saying my friends of the 70s. Sorry, I'll tell you in a minute.
Because my friends used to talk really loudly and stuff, and like one time, we're all quite aggressive, like we talking wise and stuff. Like Stephen calls me hyper aggressive anyway, and like we all have like a tone. So if you're on my personal Facebook, I shared something the other day saying, like, you know, people always think I'm having an argument, and like they got really stroppy one day because somebody had made a comment or something, and they like literally their words could have slit her throat because they just went right for her. Right, you know, she's sick, blah, 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 and loads of cursing and stuff. And I was like, I'm so glad I have like the most aggressive friends in the world, because otherwise I'd have been like not coming out of the toilet.
So I remember not long before I was diagnosed with the Crohn's, I used to stay at my friend James's, and his mum and dad's bathroom was in the middle between the bedrooms, so there was no escaping it. And I remember I went into the bathroom, I opened all the windows, and you know when you've got Crohn's and UC, that smells really bad, and when you use air freshener, it doesn't aid in making it smell better. It makes it worse, and it carries. But anyway, And obviously I'd been out drinking the night before. I'd had pizza, so that and a combination and Crohn's is not a good idea anyway. And oh my god, it stung. I remember I think we had to evacuate the house because it literally gone through the house.
Oh my
And I
God.
just remember sitting in the car when his mum was taking us back like towards Tunbridge Wells. I was like, oh my god, I can never stay there again. I've just like made the whole house clear out because of the smell. But I also did that at the toilets in Tunbridge Wells. I had gastroenteritis and Crohn's. I was being sick in the bins walking around town to try and get to the toilets in tennis shoes and a skirt, don't ask. And I cleared the toilets out and I had to walk out and I could have cried. I laugh about it now because I've developed, you develop that humour, don't you, as you get on. But I could have cried at the time because the people were moaning at me. And I was like, I can't help it, can I? I was just thinking it's funny, I can't help it.
I remember I had a load of people I'd met from groups and stuff. We all got together at my house last September, October time. End of September it was. And there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 of us with bags and 3 with IBD. It's like, I've got 1 toilet. Was this even gonna work? It actually went okay. It was worse when we were trying to get baths, but yeah.
It's all right. Jamie's just said, he says he loves it when you empty your bag and it's a stinky one and someone walks in after you.
Well, my brother made a plan because my brother gets married in a couple of weeks. They're both younger than me, but the oldest of the 2 gets married. My younger brother is his best man. They were organising the stag do. And I was like, I feel like I'm missing out. Like, we're quite close, me and my brothers. So I feel like I'm missing out. I should be allowed to come on the stag and all that. So they wouldn't take me. But then they came up with this plan that because I've got my bag and they know about this whole releasing the air in there, they were like, oh no, it'd be great. We can take you, get to the bar, you release some air, the bar will clear and we can all get a drink much quicker. I was like, yeah, thanks for that. These sorts of things.
There wasn't anything else there and it didn't land on your shoes.
I don't know, could you imagine? Drip.
Oh, dear.
We sort of went off track about sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know how we've got onto this. Well, anyway, sleeping with the Stoma. General consensus is most people sleep whatever way they want to sleep.
Oh, I did a poll.
Oh, so did I.
Damn it. I'm like, oh. Right, hold on.
Yes, we do apologise, but we go off on tangents, so you can never control what comes out of our mouth. we have a game plan, we don't always stick to it.
Especially yours, Potter.
Oh, sorry, I can't help it. It's the toilet humour. You know that's me. You know that's I can talk about that for hours.
Right, I just did a simple one on Twitter. Sorry. Did you want to go first?
No, go for it. No, go first. I'm still on it.
Literally just asked, does your stoma affect your sleep? Yes or no? And I got 40 votes on it, and yes was 78%. So that means 23% don't get affected, which is quite a lot, I thought. Just based on my experiences. I always get up at least once or twice a night, and I do wake up, even though now I don't wake up fully. But I did get loads and loads of comments. I'm going to do a post on the show page just to sort of round up all the comments I got as well. But some people have had some real trouble with it. Literally, somebody said that they were setting their alarm every 2.5 hours every night through the night since they'd had their operation because they couldn't go longer than that, which to me, I just couldn't even. I think that was the biggest shock after my operation. The interrupted sleep was the hardest bit for me to cope with. And it does get better. Like, as the weeks and the months go by, it does get a lot better. And you just get used to it, I think, as well. But to still think this person was setting their alarm every 2.5 hours, like, I couldn't comprehend that.
Crazy, isn't it? That's controlling your life, that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of getting a stoma, is to release that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had out of everybody that replied to me in the private messages that I've had 3 come to me that actually use the night drainage system for the ileostomy. They're slightly older, but they've been offered the system and they've used it. There's another woman that come to me on my blog. She was offered the nighttime drainage system, but she doesn't want to use it because she's worried about the switching from the day bags to the night bags is going to affect her. Because I'm not too sure if the tap's different on an IBD Ostomy bag than what it is on a urostomy. Because a urostomy you can cap off, can't you? And you can wear that bag anyway. Whereas with an IBD Ostomy, I'm not too sure on that one.
So that means like 2 bag changes a day, wouldn't it?
2 bag changes a day, yeah.
I had one chat. Sorry.
I didn't. I'm just going to read numbers out because I didn't write down the comments, but because it's easier just writing numbers because nobody's names are getting mentioned and stuff. I asked, do you have any issues since sleeping since having your ostomy? Excuse me. I don't know why I'm tired. My child didn't keep me up last night. 59 people said, I can't do percentages, so please do not ask me to do percentages because I can't do it. 59 people said, yes, I have trouble. 27 said, I sleep fine. 5 people said they sleep no more than before. I think that's what that's supposed to mean. I asked, do you use an aid to sleep? 20 people said pillow between the knees. 13 people said maternity pillow. 11 said duvet, which is including me. 5 people have started exercising, which has helped them become more sleepy. 2 people use pillows under the bum. 1 person uses Benadryl and melatonin. 1 person uses trazodone. So I'm presuming they're like, well, I know what Benadryl is.
Benadryl is antihistamine, isn't it? I've used antihistamines to help me sleep before.
Yeah, Maisie's liquid.
I used to.
Yeah, that's what I started with. The kids' poo is on.
I used to use morphine to get to sleep, but obviously I got rid of that when I wasn't in pain anymore because I thought I'm not risking it. And 1 person said an ostomy shield. And then I asked, have you had to change sides? I said they toss and turn all sides, which I thought was pretty redundant because I could have just ticked the other ones. But anyway, I really shouldn't do polls because they drive me nuts.
Can you select an option for people to not add more options?
I asked people to only put sensible ones, but they obviously must have thought it was sensible, so fair dues, whatever. 48 people must have thought it was sensible anyway. Sleeping on the left with no stoma, 43. Sleeping on the back, 39. Sleeping on both sides, 39, which is why I thought that was redundant. But anyway, 22 people sleep on their right. 15 people sleep on their right with their stoma, if they have a stoma on the right-hand side. 14 people said they sleep on the stomach. 5 people sleep on their left if they have it, and they have a stoma on the left. And 2 people said, I wish, and I kept this in because I thought, well, fair, I'm the same. I wish I could sleep on my stomach. I don't blame you, because I wish I could as well. I probably do when I'm asleep, but I'm not conscious, and so. So, Steve, that was mine really quickly, so you could do yours.
Mine, I've just wrote down what everyone had wrote, really. Quite a few of them asleep on their stomach, never been a problem, never had leaks. One gentleman said he doesn't eat anything after 8 p.m. Obviously, my transit's like a 3-hour, so that'd be 11 would be my last change if I ate at 8. That's pretty much it, really. It's just a mixed bag. There's nothing in particular that stands out with what I've read.
I think that's a tip my Stoma nurse gave me, because at first my output was really bad. When I literally would go into bed at 10 o'clock, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep till at least 12 because I could empty my bag like 3, sometimes 4 times between those in that time. So she was saying you could move your main meal to your lunchtime meal and have a lighter tea, and also to combat like wind, because it seemed to go, that went mad as well.
Depends if you're hungry, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is it, because you eat earlier and it just messes it all up. But luckily mine did settle down. But she said if you go to bed half an hour to an hour earlier than you're meant to, because your body automatically gets rid of the wind when you lay down, then you can obviously get up and empty again before you actually go to sleep, and hopefully it would combat getting a full bag of air through the night.
You
Doesn't
still-
always work.
See,
you
like,
say
I
that,
have an
And one of my
armchair, and I practically lay across my armchair, so that's probably why I'm stick acid. If that's the reason, I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah. It does. It does.
I lay down
actually
all the
work
time.
when I lay down, because I go to bed quite early. Like normally, I've been in bed by now, not asleep. I'd be writing or I'd speak to Steve on the phone and stuff like that. Watch Netflix, but it definitely helps if I'm laid down to get rid of it before I actually want to go to sleep.
Well, you saw on Saturday just how much I laid down. I think the entire time I laid down, except when we were eating. And
We were sat up talking, and we were slowly both got lower and lower in the bed.
1 o'clock, it was like, oh, I need to sleep. Sorry, Louise, we just butted in like.
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, I had quite a few on Instagram that have said that they've struggled with leaks, or they've had to swap sides that they've slept on because of the way the bag leaks. There's a lot of people that actually use the Conti sheets. You know, the bed pads, Conti sheet, same thing,
Yeah.
same
I meant
concept.
to mention that as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that use them. I don't use the Conti sheets anymore, but that's purely because I have got a really good mattress protector, and I proved it worked on Monday.
They're quite sweat. They make this because of the material. They make you sweat quite a bit.
And they crinkle. Do you find that they crinkle a bit? They make a noise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't personally care about that. I find that if I used to put them underneath, above my mattress protector and underneath my fitted sheet, and when I'd go to change my bedding, it'd be like crumped up, and I'm like, well, what? That's just pointless. But I do find like they make me sweat more, which isn't pleasant anyway. At the end of the day,
Me myself.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
No, carry on, Liv.
No,
Yeah,
I was going to say,
sorry.
me myself, I mean, you guys know I struggle with my ostomy because any time I sleep on my left side, I get a leak. And I don't know why, because my ostomy is on my left side. I have to sleep on my right, and I quite literally, I can't even explain how I have this pillow, but I have this maternity pillow, the triangle one, between my legs. But you know the curved bit comes in right underneath my tummy, so my bag can sort of flop on it. And I have to sleep on my right side. I can guarantee if I roll over and sleep on my left, I don't sleep because I know it's going to leak, and I'm constantly feeling. And I don't know why.
I sleep on my right. I roll from one pillar to the next pillar, but I always end up on my right. But I normally, if I'm not 100% happy with the bag, whether I'm confident with it, then I'll wear a band just in case there's an accident, and then it's all contained.
It's typical. The one night
I wear a band to cover it.
It's typical. One night I went to bed in just a pair of drawers. And I had a massive, gigantic fucking leak. And trying to do the poo dance and not get any poo all over the carpet between the bedroom and the bathroom.
That's the worst. But when you've run out of tissues and you're like, oh, I've just got to run for it.
see,
I use a mattress protector now, and Steve's got one too. And I still have the bed sheets because I find them good when I go away or I stay at a friend's house or something. I will normally take a couple in my bag for like their beds, just so I'm not worrying about.
yeah, I
staying-
do. After I leaked on my friend's bed in Scotland, and I was mortified. But like, we've got the Kylie ones, which like, because I work in care, we call it like, I've always told it was a Kylie, which is just the material ones.
Yeah.
Rara actually has that on her bed for her, like, in case she has an accident in the night.
Yeah.
Which is very rare now, but she
But
pinched
it's
it because she
still
liked it. So
to be fair, but Leo had it first when he was potty training through the night, and then Riley's had it, and it's just still on Riley's because might as well leave it on there. But
yeah,
Okay, well, we've got to do a wrap up, haven't we? Because we've hit we haven't done the 3-minute warning. What are we doing next week? So we're supposed to be reviewing Welland bags. I'm not too sure how that's going to go down because I think mine's quite a hard convex, the ones that they sent me. We're going to be talking about the Purple Wings ball that we went to Saturday, next Thursday. And we're also doing introductions because Steve is joining us full time next week and is becoming a fully fledged member.
Yay.
the IBD girls. So we've got 4 girls in Ray Winston. That's what we've come up with at the moment, but we might have to come up with something else. I'm not too sure yet. So we've got
No, it should be Drax. My little boy thinks that Steve is Drax.
Shit, I've just dropped drinks on the floor.
And the other thing that we're doing as well, after Purple Wings, we'll actually have going out and explaining as to why we all do the show and the amount of input that we've had from people over the last 4 months, because it has been insane. We are very grateful to everybody that tunes in, and we're extremely grateful to everybody that provides us answers to the questions and to the, no doubt, the many polls and posts that you see from all of us rolling out about. But we are very grateful to everybody that does tune in, and if you do tune into the Facebook live IBD Ostomy support show page on Saturday, there will be notifications going up on that page at some point, so keep your eyes peeled. And so,
Drunk Potter, that's what it's going to be. Drunk Potter.
Woo. Not on your life. Because you can't make a show of me, because technically I'm the boss. You can't undermine me. Which, by the way, I get undermined a lot. I've got Dorbat tattooed on my forehead. Anyway, we're going to wrap up for this evening and say night. We're ever so sorry that Rachel dropped out this evening, but due to Bob not being too great at the moment, she was experiencing problems. So if you do wish to contact Rachel, then please do so, but she probably won't get back to any messages until Monday. I'm
just going to do a really quick shout out to Graham, because I love you, man. I've been talking, I really enjoy talking to you, and I love the fact that you love the show. So thank you.
Yeah, he's sweet. So we're just going to say bye to now. We'll have everything up and running again Monday with regards to what's going on for the week, and we'll hopefully see you all then. So we'll say good night for now. We've only 2 minutes overrun. Yay!
You're welcome.
Not bad at all. So we'll say good night, and we will see you all next week. So we say bye.
Yep. Bye.
Good night.